Golfers love to overcomplicate the golf swing, but the way we move our arms in the golf swing is probably one of the most misunderstood and overcomplicated concepts that golfers seem to struggle with. So in this video, we're going to go through how the arms should be moving in the swing and also show you a couple of simple drills that you can do to educate your arms on what they should be doing in the golf swing, as well as develop the muscles in the arms to be able to make that move with more power and increase club head speed. So we could do 100 videos on all of the wrong ways to swing the golf club, but I want to focus really just on what to do right in this video. All the arms are doing in the golf swing is a very simple lifting and lowering motion, okay? Because golfers set up to the golf ball here and have to take the club from this position to this position, we naturally want to help that by pulling the arm back to this position. And we think that we need to get the club from here to here by moving the arm around our bodies. The guys over in Athletic Motion Golf have a fantastic video that I'll try to link here if I can, where they walk through this in a lot more detail than I'm going to get into here. So if I just stand straight up, all my arm really should be doing is raising right up over my right shoulder and then falling right back down to my right hip. And this doesn't feel right to us because we feel like, okay, we're here. If I just raise my arms up, it's not getting the club any closer to this position where we need it to be at the top. We feel like we need to make this type of a motion with our arm, swing it around our body to be able to get it from this position back behind us where it can get up over our heads. But if I just stand straight up in just a normal standing position and I hold the golf club in my right hand and I just lift my arm straight up so that the club's now kind of pointing right over my right shoulder, take my left hand, put it on the club, bend my knees, get into golf posture, and now make a pivot. Look where the golf club is. It's exactly where we want to have it at the top of the backswing. It's like perfect position at the top. And then if I undo this by just turning back to the camera, coming out of my posture and standing up, look where the club is, right where we started with it, with the right arm pointing the club right over our right shoulder. So in reality, again, if I put a club in my hands, all I'm doing with the arms and the swing, and I'll just focus on the right arm, or the trail arm for the right-handed golfer, and for this part of the video, all I'm doing is lifting the club straight up over my right shoulder, and then dropping it right back down to my right hip. Add the left hand to that, and it's just the right hand's connected to the club just like the left is, so the hands are going to work together. So if I add my left hand to that, it's just, if I look at the left arm, it's going from my left hip up over my right shoulder, or my right hand is already at, and this is what our arms are going to do at the top of the swing. So what we like to do, if I'm standing straight up and I say, okay, now I want to feel like I help it by swinging around my body. Well, let's try this, get back into golf posture and make our pivot. And now look where our hands are, and look where the club head is, way over here over our heads. What does this mean now on the way down? If I make my correct turn, now look where the club head is. So in trying to help get the club back around us, once we turn back to the left, what we've actually done is gotten it over the top of the plane and put ourselves in a position to come slap over the top and hit this big cut with this big pull. So ideally, we're going to set up the ball with our right elbow right over our right hip, and then our hands are going to be slightly ahead of that around our belt buckle. But then from this, we're just going to raise that right elbow up to about shoulder height, and then drop that right elbow to our side, right over our hip, where our hands are going to be right on our belt line, and then we're going to be able to turn directly into the correct impact position. A really simple, pretty commonly known exercise you can do in the gym is amazing to educate your arm on what it should be doing, as well as build strength and speed in those muscles so that you can do this with more power and create more club head speed. And that's just to take a simple battle rope. If you grab a battle rope at your local gym, pick it up, hold it in one hand, lift it up over your right shoulder, and then slam it back down in a straight line. This is great for a few reasons. Number one, if you are getting out of whack with your with this, it's going to be more pronounced with the battle rope in your hands, right? If I try to take it back to the right, it's going to really, you're going to be able to see how out of line that is. Where ideally, if I'm doing this in the gym, I want to see that battle rope tracing a straight line up and down right over my right side. But it's also great because it requires you to develop the correct rhythm to generate maximum power. If I try to lift that battle rope up and then slam it down as fast as I can from the top, I'm not going to get as much power. Ideally, you're going to lift the battle rope up, transition it, and then start to slant. You're gonna accelerate your hands toward the ground after you've changed directions. So it's great for showing you what the correct rhythm should be in the golf swing. And we can get into the nuances sometimes of what should the elbow be doing, and what should the hand be doing, and what should the wrist be doing. And I can tell you, if the correct movement with the right arm, it's not going to be raising the hands by bending the elbow, and it's not going to be raising the club head strictly by bending the wrist. You've got to have this raising motion at the shoulder joint, which is going to bring the elbow up to shoulder height. But that's not to say that you have to have it completely straight. Your arm is going to have some natural fold to it. Should that be exactly 30 degrees or 45 degrees or 50 degrees, and how much is too much? That's where we could, that's a different video for a different day. But in that battle rope drill, you wouldn't slam a battle rope by keeping your arm completely straight. You also wouldn't slam the battle rope by just pulling it straight to your shoulder and slamming it back down without raising from the shoulder. You would naturally pull it up, slam it down, and as you pull it up, there's going to be some wrist hinge, there's going to be some elbow bend, and then as you transition and start to take it back down, you're going to straighten the right elbow, you're going to release that hand naturally down into the ground to pop it. But because you're doing it with so much weight in the battle rope, you're going to have to engage the right muscles in the right sequence to be able to deliver the power that you want to slam that rope back down on the ground as much as you can. And it's the same thing with the golf swing. Yes, there's going to be some bending of the elbow and hinging of the wrist into the top. And as we come back down, there does come a point where we're going to start to release that elbow and release those wrists. But we don't get there by thinking, okay, set the wrist 45 degrees, turn 45 degrees, now bend the elbow 10 degrees, now turn more, and then else. We don't process it that way. At least we don't process it that way very productively. But when we just take a battle rope and try to figure out how to slam it as far as we can, our body naturally starts to figure out what that rhythm sequence should feel like. You may not be able to necessarily, especially every time, go straight up and straight down with it. One thing I will say is if you're going to err on one side versus the other, I would 10 times rather see this motion going up and clockwise than to see it going up and then counterclockwise, where if you're a right-handed golfer, I would err on the side of up and then down to the right rather than up to the right and then back down to the left. Because this motion, if it's moving in a clockwise direction, is going to be a shallowing move from the backswing to the downswing. Where if I am reversing it this way and rotating the arm counterclockwise, that's going to translate into an over-the-top move, which is not what we want. So ideally, we want it to be in a straight line or a slight loop that is moving in a clockwise direction for a right-handed player. You know what's even simpler than moving your arms correctly in the golf swing? Like in the video that taught you how to move the arms correctly in the golf swing. Seriously, it probably took me like an hour to make this video. It's going to take you like 30 minutes to learn how to do this. It's not going to take you more than 3 seconds to just like find the little thumbs up button and click on it until it turns white. So like you can go ahead and do that right now while I'm talking. And it's super easy. It'll help support our channel. So stop overcomplicating the movement of your arms in the swing. We don't need to help the club get behind us. We're going to lift the club straight up, and then the turn of the body is what gets the golf club behind us. And then from the top, for heaven's sakes, don't try to help the arms get back out towards the ball. Again, the body turning is what moves the golf club back around the bottom. You don't need to help it by moving the arm around your body at all. So there's still a sequencing that has to take place as you do this. If I get to the correct position, and then I turn, and then I come back without dropping the arms, just because I get it in the correct position at the top doesn't promise that I'm going to get it to the correct position at the bottom. You still have to do the second part of that movement. So from the top, you've got to drop the arms as you turn back to the left. So you are moving the club up to here as you turn back. But then from here, you are moving the arm back down as you're rotating to the left. So if you're getting it correct here and you're turning without dropping the arms, you're going to get over the top. Or if you turn to here and then drop without turning, you're going to get flat. Hope this helps. Thanks for watching. Have strength.